What is the scariest thing a kid has said to you? This was about 5 years ago. I was visiting family for winter break in Los Angeles. I was heading to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's house when I saw my cousin, April, on the stairs. April was 4 and very animated. She was busy making funny faces while sitting on the stairs. I asked her what she was doing. She said, "I'm copying the lady with the braid." I looked around. There was no one else but us. "Where is the lady, April?" She pointed to a beam running parallel to the stairwell. I asked her again, "What is the lady doing?" She said, "Making funny faces." I smiled and started walking up the stairs again when April said something that stopped me in my tracks. "Her braids are around her neck." I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed, "The lady is hanging by her braid. She's making funny faces." April then started making a face, which I then realized was of someone gasping for air. A few years ago, I was putting my daughter to bed for the night. She was about 3 at the time, and she was fighting going to sleep. She asked me why she had to go to bed, and I said, "Because it is late, and it's time for little girls to get a good night's rest." She then pointed at nothing across the room and said, "What about that little girl?" This past summer, I was at one of my girlfriend's relatives' birthday party. She has a little cousin around age 10, and he and I get along great. Usually he wants me to run some football plays with him, but this night, he was different. I noticed him sitting all alone on the back porch, so I approached him like usual and asked what was up, to which he responded, "I just really wish I would have done it last night." I asked, "What's that?" He comes back with, "I wish I would have stabbed Mommy." I shat bricks and told my girlfriend. She said his mother has called the cops on him a few times already because he threatens everyone with knives. When we were moving from Germany back to the States, my then 3-year-old daughter said to me, "Mommy, I'm really going to miss Emily." I racked my brain and could not, for the life of me, recall a friend named Emily, so I asked her about it. She was setting her tea set up, glanced up at me with the most casual smile and said, "You know, the girl who crawls out from under my bed to play?" My 4-year-old niece's grandma was buried earlier in the week, and we tried explaining to her that grandma wouldn't be able to play with her anymore. Then she points to the air beside me. "But Grammy's right there." 2 years ago, I was looking through my elementary school yearbook with my 5-year-old cousin. When we were on a page with a second-grade class, she pointed to a boy's photo and said, "That looks just like Nicholas." When I asked who Nicholas was, she just said, "The boy in my closet," and kept on looking through the pictures. I was visiting my cousin in Italy. She was about 8, and we were sharing her room. Before going to bed on the 5th night I was there, I wished her a good night. She replied, "Good night. I hope you two sleep soundly." I asked her to repeat what she said. She said the same thing and pointed to the corner of her room. My niece and I always play hide and seek, or as we called it, "I'm gonna gobble the bug up," whenever I go visit my sister. She used to love this game, and she always chose the same hiding spot in the closet next to the door where my sister kept wrapping paper and coats. I would search for a few minutes before finally getting to the closet, and since she is only 2 and quite short, I would look over her head and pretend not to notice her. After that, she would leave the closet and sneak up on me to gobble me up instead. The last time we played the game, she was in her usual hiding spot, but she managed to shut the door all the way. She would usually leave it cracked open so she could watch me search through the house and giggle. I noticed the door was shut and figured she was just getting braver and continued with my search, being more audible with my, "Where is the little bug?" or, "When I find you, I'm going to eat you with gravy." Suddenly, I hear her little hands banging on the other side of the door. I hear her crying and screaming, "And Beggy, and Beggy!" This is her way of saying Aunt Becky. I go and open the door and grab her up. She's in hysterics, which I assume is from the dark, and the door having been shut all the way. I ask her if she's okay, and she points at the closet and goes, "No, bad man, stay!" She will not go near the closet, and neither will I. We still play the game, but her new hiding spot is in the shower, with the bathroom light on. A few months ago, I was at work when a mom and her kid, around 5 or 6 years old, walked up to the counter. When I said hello to the kid, she asked me, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Alki. Nice to—" "No, it's not," interrupted the kid. I laughed and asked, "So what's my name then?" "Your name's Marjorie." The kid then left to covet some pastries. My grandmother, of whom I am the spitting image, was named Marjorie. She died 20 years ago. We were driving down the road with my little brother strapped in his car seat in the back when we went around a curve, and he said very seriously, "This is where it will happen." This is at a point when he wasn't really speaking in sentences yet, as he's still about 2 years old. To this day, I still drive very carefully when making that curve, and I'm curious if something is going to happen there eventually. I work at a daycare, and this literally just happened today. Miss Nickel, I have a story to tell you. I was a baby once, but I wasn't always a baby. When I was big, I was scary, and I did a lot of bad things. I used to chase down girls. I would run up behind them and go, and I guess that's why God made me a baby again. And now I'm 4. But I won't hurt girls anymore. When I was about 16, my little brother, who was 6 at the time, started telling me about a rabbit who would come and visit him. I blew it off, thinking it was his imagination. The next few days, it's all he talked about, like how the rabbit would open a hole in the wall. My brother said he left his body and went through the hole, and the rabbit showed him places and told him things, but when they got back, he couldn't remember. I just told him he is probably dreaming all this up. Well, that night, there was scratching on the wall in my room. I looked around and couldn't find anything making the noise, and decided that it must be something outside or a mouse got inside the wall. It got louder and louder until I finally got dressed and went outside. Nothing was there. I went back to my room where the scratching was still going on. I hit the wall a few times, hopefully scaring away the rodent. It stopped for a few seconds and then continued. It kept going until around 3 a.m., then it stopped completely. The next morning, we were eating breakfast and my little brother didn't say anything about the rabbit. As glad as I was to finally not hear him talk about it, it just wasn't normal. So I asked him, "Didn't the bunny see you last night?" What he said chills me even today. "He didn't take me anywhere last night. He told me he was trying to see you, and you wouldn't let him in. He said you tried to hit him." After that, I started asking questions about this bunny. All I got was that he would take him places and tell him secrets. The bunny finally quit coming around after another week. He tried to get my brother to come live with him, but my brother said no. He wanted to stay with his mommy and daddy. The bunny has never been back since. And that concludes the creepiest things kids have ever said. If you want more content like this, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you never miss out on scary Reddit stories. This is Reddit Story Hour. Stay curious, stay kind, and see you in the next video.